Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're cracking the code on a story that's thousands of years old, the history of secret messages. We're going to go from simple letter swaps all the way to the quantum-proof shields of tomorrow.
You know, that one question has driven this invisible arms race for millennia. It's a constant battle of wits that started with just pen and paper, but it shaped the entire secure digital world that we rely on for literally everything today. All right, so let's dive in. We're going to trace this incredible journey, starting way back in the ancient world, and we'll end up right on the cutting edge of modern security. So our story kicks off in the classical era. And back then, keeping a secret, well, it was much more of an art form than a science. It was something practiced by generals, diplomats, and even popes. Early methods, like the famous Caesar cipher, were pretty straightforward. You just shift the alphabet a few letters over. But the problem was, they were really easy to break just by looking at which letters show up most often. So this led to way more complex systems, like the Vigenère cipher, which used multiple alphabets at once, and was actually considered unbreakable for centuries.
And what's really fascinating is how even the most powerful institutions could fall behind the curve. Take the Vatican. They kept using older, simpler code systems way into the 20th century. So when code breakers captured those messages along with their translations, they basically became historical Rosetta Stones for cracking other similar codes.
But here's the thing. As the world started to industrialize and communication got faster and faster, these manual methods just couldn't keep up. They were slow, they were prone to human error, and it was obvious that a new age of secrecy was dawning. The code makers had to turn to machines.
And turning to machines didn't just speed things up. Oh no. It kicked off a full-blown mechanical arms race. This battle of wits between code makers and code breakers just escalated like crazy, with innovations that would end up helping define the outcome of World War II.
And you can see just how fast things escalated here. Early rotor machines gave way to the infamous German Enigma machine, a device so complex that breaking its codes literally required the invention of Colossus, which was the world's first programmable electronic computer.
But here's maybe the most important lesson from this whole era. The technology was only half the battle. Even a machine as brilliant and complex as the Enigma could be totally defeated by sloppy human practices, sending predictable messages or using lazy settings. It's a powerful lesson that is still incredibly relevant in cybersecurity today.
So the war really proved that clever tricks and complicated machines weren't enough on their own. Their limitations pushed cryptography out of the shadows of spycraft and transformed it from a clever art into a rigorous, hard science. And this whole shift is perfectly illustrated by the work of one man. In 1949, a mathematician named Claude Shannon laid the theoretical groundwork for all modern ciphers. He introduced two core ideas. The first is confusion, which is kind of like shuffling a deck of cards so thoroughly that there's no way to tell where any single card started. The second is diffusion. Think of it like this. You add one single drop of red dye to a glass of water, and soon that one drop influences every part of the water, making the whole thing pink. Together, these two principles turned cryptography into a real science.
And with this new scientific foundation, cryptography was ready for one of the biggest breakthroughs in the history of secrecy. A totally paradoxical solution that solved a problem that was thousands of years old.
I mean, think about it. To send a secret message, you first have to share a secret key. But how do you share that key without someone else stealing it in the process? For thousands of years, this was the Achilles heel of cryptography.
The revolutionary idea, which we now call public key cryptography, was to use two different keys. It's like this. You send an open padlock, that's your public key, to anyone you want. They can use it to lock their message in a box. But, and here's the magic, only you have the private, one-of-a-kind key to actually open it. This completely solved the key sharing problem and became the foundation for basically all modern internet security. This revolution is what gave us the cryptographic workhorses that protect our digital lives every single day. We're talking about algorithms like RSA, which secures the S in HTTPS when you're browsing the web, and AES, which is the gold standard used to protect everything from your Wi-Fi password to top-secret government files.
So where is this arms race headed now? Well, as our world gets more connected and our computers get way more powerful, the challenges are getting exponentially more complex.
We're already seeing a big shift toward more efficient systems.
Elliptic curve cryptography, or ECC, gives you the same heavy-duty security as RSA, but with much smaller, faster keys. This makes it absolutely perfect for all the low-power devices that run our modern world, from your smartphone to your smartwatch.
And the stuff that's on the horizon? It sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it solves very real problems. With zero-knowledge proofs, you could prove you're over 21 without ever revealing your actual birth date. Homomorphic encryption would let a cloud service analyze sensitive medical data for you without ever actually decrypting it. And lattice-based cryptography, that's a powerful new shield, being designed to be strong enough to withstand an attack from a future quantum computer.
Which, of course, brings us to our final, lingering question. From ancient Rome all the way to the quantum age, this battle between secrecy and discovery has never stopped. And as our tools for both making and breaking codes become almost unimaginably powerful, the quest for a truly unbreakable secret, well, that journey continues.